أستعين وأستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ولا تجد له وليا مرشدا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمد عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فقد غوى نسأل الله ربنا أن يجعلنا ممن يطيعه ويطيع رسوله ويتبع رضوانه ويجتنب سخطه فإنما نحن به وله أما بعد فيا عباد الله قال الله تعالى في كتابه العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَإِذٍ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ Announce the Hajj to mankind. يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ They will come to you on foot and on every sort of lean animal, coming by every distant road. لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعُ لَهُمْ so that they can be present at what will profit them. In July of this year, with the permission of Allah and by the invitation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some people from this mosque and this community will form a group to perform the Hajj. What is this invitation from Allah? Without it, nobody may go. And with it, a person will overcome every obstacle to be there. The invitation from Allah comes to the heart of the Hajj. He realizes it is time to go. He knows he is obliged. The call comes from the house of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Hajj responds. He has to go, and he wants to go. The Hajj responds by making the intention. Above all, Hajj is intention. True, the means must be found, difficulties must be surmounted, and rites must be performed. But it is by intention that it begins, and by intention that it is completed. The invitation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He gives the Muslim the intention in his heart. The Hajji renews that intention again and again, setting aside such objections that the nafs and shaitan may insinuate. In earlier times, it is said that as many as 20% of people would fail to return from Hajj. Banditry, disease, and wild animals were common. The journey was immensely long. It has become much easier for the modern Hajji, but he faces other obstacles, like astronomical cost, lack of freedom from employment at home, extreme overcrowding in the Haramain, and the capture of hospitality by corporations. But to the Hajji with a clear intention, all these become precisely the means by which the grain of his or her character is refined and knowledge is gained. Someone might well ask, how much does it cost to go on Hajj? While this is a valid question, and nobody has to go who does not have the means, it might be better to ask oneself, do I want to go? In this age of perpetual debt, vast numbers of people would never go unless they considered this question instead. As he approaches Mecca, the Hajji enters Ihram. For men, this means donning 2 cloths and shoes with no stitching. But it is also a state of being which forbids grooming, quarrelling, killing even a fly, and wrongdoing. It is abstention like the fast, but it is different. He gets to Mecca and he heads straight to the house of Allah, looking up at it only once he has arrived in the crucible of the Masjid al-Haram, the centre of the human situation, the hub of the great wheel of mankind. He feasts his eyes and his heart. Here in the prayer, unlike anywhere else, he looks forward and up at the house itself. Then he heads for the black stone, and despite the crowds, he kisses it. Then he circles the house 7 times, together with people from all the world. Then he moves to the Maqam al-Ibrahim, performs 2 rak'ats in the calm eye of the storm, takes a drink of Zamzam, and heads to the rocky mound of Marwa, from which he begins a sa'i, hurrying to Safa and back to Marwa 7 times, in the imitation of the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was left in the desert with her child without provision and went from one mound to the other, looking desperately for travellers who might have water for her baby Ismail. Just as we move fretfully from one place to another, looking into the world for our provision, only to find it directly beneath our feet, just as she found Zamzam between the 2 hillocks. Zamzam and its waters are still flowing today, and the experience of sa'i is still there today, unbroken, being repeated in an endless stream, awaiting our presence at it, so that we can be shown our own lives and the lives of all humans. Then, if we are performing the Hajj Ifrad, which is the only variation which the Prophet ever performed, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will remain in Ihram until the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. There is a dispensation to come out of Ihram after sa'i and sacrifice an animal to make up for this shortcoming, in which case it is called Hajj Tamattu or Hajj Qiran. This, like many dispensations, has now become the norm, even though there is less need for it now than there was before air travel made it easy to arrive near to the time of Hajj. The state of Ihram is savoured by the Ifrad Hajji in a way unlikely for others, because, like fasting, it is an experience of purification which builds up over the days. The body is neglected, but it turns out not to have needed all the intention he gave, all the attention he gave it before. Although it is a relief to wash, shave and don clothes on Eid, he finds himself missing the purity of Ihram afterwards. So the Hajji spends his days in Mecca doing tawaf and kissing the black stone, to which Sayyidina Umar said, "O black stone, I know that you are only a stone, which can neither benefit nor harm you. Had I not seen the Prophet kiss you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would not have kissed you." And then he kissed it. We kiss it because he kissed it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Muslims have always kissed it. And this is why we do all of the things we do as Muslims, notwithstanding the benefits and reasons that emerge from that obedience. Our Hajji finds his way to the Multazam, right between the door of the Kaaba and the black stone, and asks Allah there for everything he wants, for himself and for others, because anything that is asked there is granted. That is when he realizes that although he came to fulfill his own obligation, he actually came for others, because by his dua, Allah will give to them. Then, on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, he and his party leave Mecca for Mina. With his party, because although every Hajj tour operator will send you with a party, it is preferable to travel, if you can, with the people you live with and practice your deen with. He spends the night at Mina, then sets off after Subh on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah for the plain of Arafah. If he does not get to Arafah before that sunset, he has no Hajj. Hajj is Arafah. There is nothing. And when he arrives, he finds nothing there. There are no rites to perform. There is nothing but 2 million other Hajjis, dressed in the cloths many of them will be buried in, gathered where Adam and Eve were reunited after their expulsion from the garden, and where they recognized each other. Ma'arafa. All he has to do when he gets there is stand. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, when the day of Arafah comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends to the lowest heaven and praises the people there to the angels, saying, look at my slaves who have come to me dishevelled, dusty, and crying out from every deep valley. I call you to witness that I have forgiven them. The angels object, saying, but my Lord, this man has done such and such a thing, and this woman has done such and such a thing. Allah, who is great and glorious, replies, I have forgiven them. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم إنه